Hello everyone, welcome to another session with me. This is Sanyukta Saxena and hope you are enjoying this series on Zentangle black and white wherein we tangle both on black and white surfaces on the same tile, and we created these unique tiles in the introductory session of this series. So today let us take our journey a little further, and I'm going to be using this tile today. So let me give you some ideas. This kind of tile can very comfortably converted into a tangle itself by using the tangle circles. Yes. So if you just add some orbs here and there, some in the white section, some in the black section, and just tangle the in between spaces, it's enough to convert it into a beautiful tile. Yeah, just one tangle circles. Else what we can do is just forget about what is there in the background and just tangle all over, and that is what I'm going to do today. So let's get started with today's session, and we shall tangle, probably we'll use a tangle called melting mucas. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is just ignore the background what it is and just start from one end, and both ends in fact, this side and that side, and draw some melting mucas. For that I'm using a bolder pen first, and then the in between spaces between the mucas we can tangle with a finer nib. So since we'll be crossing both black and white sections, so I'm going to keep my other jelly roll handy. Start from one side, add a nice fescue like this, and add an aura. So once you have added an aura, the next step is to again retrace a part of this, go down again add a fescue. Now extend this line like this. Yeah, and then if you want to change the direction, then bring another new line from here and add another fescue. This version of fescues or mucas are called melting mucas because they look like they are dripping. And then I'm going to add one more and the second one. Yeah, so that was the first one. Now either you can draw all of it or you can just go quickly to the in between spaces and add the jelly roll wherever it is required, like this. Yeah, I'll use my O8 like this, and then this part. Yeah, so that was our first one. And then now I'm going to, either you can start from the same or just rotate your tile and start from the other side. Again doing the same exercise, add another aura, go around. Yes, and then one more coming down, melting, extend this curve down, go around. If you want to change the direction, bring a new line here, and this one probably you can just roll it in here itself on the black. I know it will not be visible to you, but I can see it. Yeah, the ink is visible. And then again I'm going to come down like this, extend this line, again add an aura, again go down like this. Yeah, so that was the second set of lines. Again use your O8 or 10, whichever you are comfortable with, and add jelly roll over the black. Take your time. like this. Yes, and here like this. Yeah, we may have to do the jelly roll again. I don't know. Maybe we need a second coat. So now again I'm going to rotate and start with the third melting mocha. Again go around. Alright. Come down. Add another fescue. Again. Alright. Again, if you want, add one more fescue. Alright. And then you can come down again. Alright. Bring this down like this. Yeah. So I'm going to do one or two more rows like this, and also side by side just add whites. I think this is not working too well. I'll change my jelly roll. So I'm drawing the last one now in the same fashion as I did the others. Again, some nice drooping melting mochas there. You can draw it any which ways you want. No hard and fast rules how you have to draw it. Yes, that was the last one, and I'm going to now again, I've changed my jelly roll here, and now I'm going to add white on the black sections. Right, so I think rest of the places the white is already showing. If you want to redo some of the lines, you can do that. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, so that was the melting mocha. Now we will go to the in between spaces and tangle inside here, right? So let's get started. I'm now again switching pen to my 01 and starting with the tangle called changing in between these spaces. So let's see how can we do that easily. So I'm going to rotate my tile and start from one part here and then go inside, kind of drawing behind here. This tangle is called changing. Looks like a chain, and I'm drawing across sections like this. Take your time. If this tangle is new for you, then you can always refer to my previous videos. Although I'm going slow, but you may still want to watch the video to understand how to draw it. Yes, it looks just like a chain, and I'm going to do that again. Another one almost very close to the previous one. Just go with the spaces you have. Yeah, and then you are crossing over to that section. That's fine. Take your time. So some of the places where we have crossed over, I'm just going to use my jelly roll. This can be kind of complicated, but we are doing it for one of the sections. So try it out. Start here again. Goes just like a chain. Again, filling up the spaces that I have here. I'm not trying to cross over. Adding one more row here in the same way. Take your time. Do that exercise for one of the sections again. Squeezing in one more small one here. So with this tangle, crossing over can be a little challenging. So I am sticking to the white section here. We have crossed over only in this part. Yeah. And then we move on to the next section. So next section you can either repeat the same thing, or I will repeat the same thing here and skip one section and add something simpler there. Yes. Probably we can go with a simple tangle called poke roots or poke leaves. Yes. So let's do that. I'm starting here with a tangle called poke roots. Drawing behind. Now it is up to you. You want to keep this black as such, or you can draw over it also. So I think I will cover parts of my black also. Take your time. Slowly go ahead and I'm drawing over black also. Maybe it is not very visible, but as I add the jelly roll, you will be able to see it clearly. Right? So continue in the same fashion. Add some poke roots. Take your time. Yeah. So I'm done with drawing with my black. So now again I'm going to switch, and wherever I have added the poke roots on the black spaces, I'm going to add the jelly roll. Take your time, slowly. Wherever you feel like, just add the jelly roll. Yeah. So we are done with the second layer. Now again, going to the next, I'm again going to add some changing. In between very small spaces, feel free to add some small tiny tipples. Here we have gone on the black, so we need to add the jelly roll. Yeah, now I think we are done. So going back to all those spaces left in between and squeezing in some small tiny orbs here and there. Some bit of orbs here and there. Yes. Now we are done with the second layer. Again I'm going to repeat the changing. So with my black pen itself, just like a chain, curved lines in both direction. Again drawing behind here. Take your time. Slowly keep drawing these double lines from both sides. Just like a chain. Take your time. Right, and then I'm going to add one more line and fill up with some hidden ones which are not really visible a lot. Right, so that was changing again, and now again the last one I'm going to add poke roots. Right, so start again with some nice poke roots, also getting into the black sections. So choose tangles that come to you easily, that's fine. You can draw simple printums in between and even that would look nice. I just felt like drawing poke roots today, so drawing behind here. Yeah, take your time. So again I'm going to go back and add little bit of jelly roll wherever I've crossed the line. and ventured into the black ink. Just take your time and do that exercise. Yeah. Again, very tiny little spaces in between. You can just go back and add some, just squeeze in some small tipples here and there. Not too many spaces there, so it will just take few minutes. Yeah. So I think we are done with that. Let us now shade. We are done with our tangling part. Now as far as shading is concerned, I am going to highlight the melting mochas, right? So I'm going to let this be in the background, and we'll first highlight the melting mocha, and then we shall see if we want to highlight something else, for example these in between sections, then we can do that. So the first thing first, highlighting the melting mocha. So first I am adding graphite, irrespective of whether it is the black or the white, and then we shall see if we want to highlight the white, the black portions with the white chalk. Yeah. So first is graphite. Blend it. So the other tangles that we drew kind of recede in the background, and we are only here playing around with our mochas. Yeah, something like this. Moving on to the next one. Go around the melting mochas. Now when you are going around the second one, try leaving some white space in between. Take your time. Slowly go around the second one, and now blend. So when I'm blending, I'm making sure that there is some white in between, no matter how less it is, but it will help you highlight what is there inside. So it's nice if you blend a little carefully and blend only as much as is required. Yeah, something like this. So it's almost looking like your melting mochas are transcended over your background. Slowly take your time and do that exercise throughout. Yeah. And now I am on the last one, continuing to shade in the same fashion certain spaces where we have not added the white. So adding the graphite around the melting mochas. And then blending it just as much as is required, not much. Yes, a little at the edges. I think we have shaded all. Now if you want, you can add some highlights with your jelly roll on these black poke roots, wherever you feel like. Again, these things are optional. If you wish to, you can add a small highlight on the black ones to kind of, make them more prominent. Yeah. And you can also add some puffs or dots on these black portions if you don't want them to be absolutely black. I'm going to add some poke roots here so this portion looks a little wider. So just a few hidden ones here, not too many. Yeah. And now is the time for some bit of highlights. So use your chalk pencil and any one side you can choose for highlights. Something like this. Use a different blender and soften it. So I will add the chalk on one side only every time. Something like this. Yes. So just adding a dash of white in the in-between space. You can do that on this white also, but I'm just doing it on the black to highlight it a little more. And then just blend it. Make sure it is not patchy. You want to use the other blending stuff to highlight the black. You can do that. And that's about it. I don't think we need to do anything else. Yes. So just in case you are not very clear about how I drew the tangle changing, this is how I started with two curved lines or C shapes. Yes. And then leave a small gap here and come back again. Almost these lines are perpendicular to each other. Again, block it. Two lines. So these are almost perpendicular to each other. Again, block it. Come down. Again, block these two lines. Come down. Again, block these two lines, come down. Right? So this is how I drew the tangle changing. In case you don't want to go back and watch the video where I have shown how to draw these tangles, This is how I drew the tangle. Yeah. So let's now close our tile, sign and date it. So use a nice poke root, a plump one. Put in your chop, very important. Sign and date your tile. So today is 28/10/23. I shall see you again with, I think we have 2 more sessions to go. So I shall see you again in the next session. Till then, have a good time. Bye-bye.